Welcome to your deep dive. Today, we're going to be stepping into a world, well, where science fiction meets ancient mysteries.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so we're diving into these excerpts from this Italian book, The Secret Code of Sese 44, and it's really exploring kind of the fringes of anthropology. I think some people would even call it like alternative anthropology.
Right. Like
Wow.
the stuff that makes you question everything.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking like time travel, telepathy, yeah, Leonardo da Vinci, and get this, even angels.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, you sent this our way, so I'm guessing you're ready to go down this rabbit hole with us.
Absolutely. And it sounds like it's a rabbit hole with some surprisingly deep tunnels. What we have here is really interesting. It's this blend of a personal narrative, and I don't know a better way to put it, but these like interferences. So imagine like the narrator, an artist named Filippo Panseca, he seems to be experiencing memories or even like entire timelines that aren't even his own.
Okay, hold on. Interferences, so like glitches in the matrix. What does that like actually feel like for him?
Yeah, so the book describes them as these vivid flashes, almost like dreaming, but like way more real.
Hmm.
Pensecus sees, hears, even feels things from these other timelines, and they're often connected to this ancestor of his who was obsessed with Leonardo da Vinci's work.
Interesting.
And I'm not just talking like a casual art history buff here. We're talking about the possibility that Da Vinci actually believed humans descended not from apes, but from beings with wings.
Wait, are we saying that Leonardo da Vinci, the genius who painted the Mona Lisa, might have believed in something like angels?
It's a wild theory, right?
No, that's a theory I need to hear more about.
But there's more.
But first, where does this whole Sesi 44 title even come from?
Right, so it all starts on this island of Pantelleria in a traditional stone dwelling called a damuso. And inside, there's this chamber with these wall paintings dating back to the late 19th century. Now, these aren't your typical landscapes or portraits. We're talking a woman with huge, magnificent wings just soaring across the sky. And here's where it gets really interesting. Alongside these images, there are all these intricate logarithmic calculations.
Paintings and like mathematical formulas giving me some serious National Treasure vibes.
Right.
What did scientists make of these calculations?
They were blown away. They figured out that these weren't random scribbles, but they were like a graphic scientific elaboration dedicated to space-time.
Whoa.
We're talking references to Einstein's theory of relativity, the idea that time isn't linear, it's a curved dimension.
Okay.
And get this, the formulas even hint at the possibility of time travel through like consciousness transfer, essentially a form of immortality.
Hold up. Immortality through time travel. You're saying these calculations found in some like random Italian dwelling might hold the key to like cheating death. Okay, my mind is officially in the Twilight Zone. But let's get back to this woman with wings in these paintings. Who was she? Did Panseca ever figure out her identity?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Panseca, he believed that the artist behind these murals was actually his own ancestor. Yeah, and so this kicked off this deep dive into his family history, right? And he uncovers this generations-old obsession with DNA, cloning, and like the potential for human modification. And here's where the Da Vinci Code element really comes in the book, suggests that Panseca's ancestor, he might have actually possessed a lost page from Da Vinci's own writings. And on this page, there could be groundbreaking insights into DNA and human evolution, stuff that could explain the whole mysterious winged woman.
A lost page from Da Vinci's notes. Okay, now we're talking. What could be on this lost page? This is like finding a missing piece of history's greatest puzzle.
Right. And like any good puzzle, the pieces are scattered. The book kind of hints that Da Vinci's lost insights could like totally challenge how we understand evolution itself.
Wow.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Panseca's journey, it takes him from these dusty archives to those vivid interferences we were talking about.
All right.
He's experiencing moments from his ancestor's life, even scenes where he's like studying the flight of birds with Leonardo da Vinci.
Whoa, he's having visions of hanging out with Da Vinci. This is getting more incredible by the minute. What was this ancestor like? Was he some kind of visionary scientist trying to unlock the secrets of, like, flight and DNA?
It's more nuanced than that. Remember those interferences we talked about? Well, in one of them, Panseca gets this glimpse into his ancestor's vision of the future. And it's this world where humans live in total harmony with nature. Think like self-sufficient communities focused on sustainable living and eco-friendly practices, a stark contrast to the world that Panseca actually lives in.
So it's like a warning from the past about the path we're on. A glimpse into a potential future where we either learn to coexist with nature or face the consequences. This just got real. But you mentioned telepathy and angels earlier. Where do those fit into this already mind-boggling story?
Yeah, it's like you say, this idea of a warning. That sense of urgency is everywhere in Panseca's experiences, It's like the past and the present and the future are all trying to, like, reach out to him, guide him towards something. And this is where the whole telepathy thing really kicks in.
Okay, I am definitely getting some, like, Close Encounters vibes here.
Yeah.
So how does he go from, like, dusty archives and, cryptic visions to actually experiencing telepathy?
Well, his journey takes him deep into the Basawas biosphere in Nicaragua.
Okay.
He feels drawn to this place he calls the Pequeño Pueblo en el Sol, which means like a small village in the sun.
Okay.
And this village is said to be hidden away in the rainforest, and it's this place where people live in deep communion with nature.
So he's searching for a community that, like, embodies his ancestors' vision of a sustainable future. It's like those intentional living movements you see popping up now, but with, like, centuries of wisdom behind them.
Yeah, exactly. And as Panseca gets deeper into the rainforest, he starts having these moments of, like, connection. He describes it as a sort of telepathic communication, but it's not just with other people, it's with nature itself. Like, the lines between his mind and everything around him start to just dissolve.
Wow, that's intense. It's like that feeling you get when you're, like, really immersed in nature, but, like, amplified 1,000-fold. So does he ever actually find this village?
He does, and that's where he meets Eve.
Eve. You're speaking about her with such, like, reverence. Who is she? What makes her so special?
Well, remember that winged woman from the paintings in the Demuso? The one Panseca thought was his ancestor?
Yeah.
Eve is her descendant, but not in the way you might think.
Okay, now you've really got my attention. What do you mean, not in the way we might think?
The book claims that Eve is the product of an experiment, like the culmination of generations of research passed down from Panseca's ancestor, right?
Yeah, okay.
It involved, get this, splicing human and harpy eagle DNA.
Wow.
Those massive birds of prey?
Oh, yeah.
And Eve is the result, like a human-angel hybrid born with actual wings and this connection to nature that just seems supernatural.
Oh, hold the fun. He finds an actual, real-life human-angel hybrid. This is some next-level stuff.
It's a lot to take in, right? And the book, it doesn't shy away from it at all the implications of what this means. Eve's existence just throws out all these questions about, like, what does it even mean to be human? What are the limits of, like, messing with their genes? And what happens when science and nature combine in these crazy, awe-inspiring ways?
Yeah, it's like something out of a sci-fi novel, but with this deeper message about how we relate to the natural world. So what's she like? What can she do?
Imagine, like, someone who can fly, talk to animals, and tap into this telepathic network that connects her to the entire rainforest.
Wow.
She's like a living, breathing example of those interferences Panseca experiences, but, like, even more extraordinary.
Yeah, it's like she represents the next step in human evolution or something, like a being who is totally in tune with both, like, the physical and the spiritual aspects of existing.
Totally. And her community, it reflects that. They live completely sustainably, drawing energy from the environment, and they use telepathy not just to talk to each other, but as a tool to, like, learn and understand.
What?
It's like they stumbled upon a library of ancient wisdom, but it's alive.
It sounds like Panseca's journey led him to exactly what he was looking for, answers about his family, but also about, like, all of humanity's potential. But did meeting Eve, experiencing this totally other way of life, did it change him?
He went looking for answers about his family, yeah, but he walked right into, like, a possible future for everybody. It's pretty mind-blowing.
So did spending time with Eve and her people, did it change how he saw things?
Oh, totally. Imagine having your whole world just, like, flipped upside down, Not just by these incredible things he's discovering, but by actually living a completely different way. The book shows Panseca being deeply moved by the harmony and how connected everyone is in Eve's community.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to read about sustainable living and telepathy and all that, but to actually see it, to experience it firsthand, that's got to be life-changing. Did he struggle at all to, like, reconcile this new reality with the world he came from?
That's the core of it, right? And the book doesn't shy away from that contrast at all. Like, on one side, you've got Panseca's life before, our modern world, focused on technology and always moving forward and often really disconnected from nature.
Right.
And then on the other side, you have Eve's community where tech and nature are, like, totally intertwined, in sync, and telepathy is as normal as, like, breathing.
It's like holding up this mirror to all our anxieties about, like, where are we even headed?
Exactly.
What if we've got it all wrong? What if progress isn't about conquering nature, but about, like, becoming a part of it again?
That's the question echoing throughout this whole book, and it's not just some philosophical thing either. It's in every choice Panseca makes.
You mean the choice of whether to stay in that hidden utopia or go back to his old life? Which did he choose?
And that right there, that's the big cliffhanger the secret code of Ses 44 leaves us with. The book doesn't come right out and say what Panseca decides in the end. Instead, it's like it wants us, the readers, to imagine ourselves standing at that same crossroads. What would we do?
Wow, that's a powerful way to end it. It's like the book just throws the question back in our laps. Can we take these, I don't know, kind of out there ideas and make them part of our own lives? Can we try to live in a more sustainable, connected way, even if we never, stumble across a human-angel hybrid in the jungle?
And that's what makes The Secret Code of Sisyphus 44 so compelling. It mixes real science, history, and spirituality, and it creates a story that's, mind-bending for sure, but it also makes you think. And whether or not we buy into the things it's suggesting, time travel, genetic engineering, telepathy, it forces us to confront these bigger questions about, like, what are humans even capable of? And what is our place in the grand scheme of things?
This deep dive, I got to say, it's been quite a ride. We've gone from some mysterious room in Italy to the middle of the Nicaraguan rainforest. We've talked about everything from theoretical physics to, like, ancient wisdom. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It really is, but sometimes it's the ideas that shake things up, that make us use our imaginations. Those are the ones that stick with us.
Yeah.
The secret code of Ses 44 doesn't give us easy answers, but it reminds us how important curiosity is and how important questioning things is. And it reminds us that we're probably capable of a lot more than we think we are.
It makes you wonder if somewhere out there, maybe hidden in the trees or buried in some old text, are the keys to unlocking these hidden powers inside us. Maybe all we need is to be a little curious, and brave enough to face the unknown.
Maybe that's the real secret code, the one inside each of us, just waiting to be cracked.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive. We hope it's made you a little more curious and inspired you to keep exploring the mysteries of our world and ourselves.